Hi everyone, my name is Joey. I am 25 years old. I am currently a Hong Kong activist based in Washington, D.C., working full time at an international development and democracy assistance organization focused on amplifying communities from Hong Kong and Taiwan. Under this legislation, they have decided to revoke the passports of seven Hong Kong overseas activists, and that include myself. All seven of them have actually been put on a international arrest warrant by the Hong Kong government last year in July and December separately, and they have also issued a $1 million bounty on the dozen of us. The arrest warrant and then the bounty for me came last December in 2023. So at the time, I was really going through an emotional turmoil of, your government confirming that you can actually never go back home again, or you will be thrown into prison for, allegedly colluding with foreign forces and inciting secession. I think it all revealed their intention of, hoping to instill that kind of fear inside of the people of Hong Kong to make sure that people who are still on the ground no longer engages in political activities, and that people who are overseas no longer organizes, advocacy, which has been proven to be so effective over the past few years. I think the very tragic story of Hong Kong, how quickly our values, our freedom and democracy and human rights and everything has been taken away, I think that really serves as a very timely reminder of how fragile these values could be and how easily it can all be destroyed and taken away from you. The story of Hong Kong is not just one for people living in, half democratic countries or people living in dictatorial countries, but I think it is more of a story that needs to be remembered by people who are currently living in democracies and enjoying that freedom and democracy. I think it is so important to always remember that, never to take these values as granted, and always to remember how fragile these values are. The situation of Hong Kong, to my view, is intertwined with the situation in Gaza. It is intertwined with the situation in Syria. You cannot, only talk about China without touching on human rights, violations happening in Tibet, East Turkestan, forced labor, human rights, and how, the U.S. government or other democracies is responding, is conducting themselves in those regions to amplify the movement in Hong Kong, or to be able to be part of that community that supports our movement. I think you don't necessarily need to join a Hong Kong specific protest or demonstration. I think it is just really important for, all of us to take that tiny little baby step, the first step to, towards human rights and democracy. And then, really just doing a tiny thing like retweeting or, sharing a reel on Instagram or liking a YouTube video to make sure that human rights and democracy is always centered in our conversations. That is not a direct contribution to our Hong Kong movement, but eventually I think that is the only way that all of us across the world can actually make sure that our movements are successful.